What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to LTQ Wrestling Podcast. The final Raw of 2024 and the final Raw on the USA Network before they move to Netflix next week took place. Solid Raw. Good way to end the show. Nothing crazy. I did enjoy the segment between Rollins and Punk, which I'll get into near the end of the video. Let's talk about some of the stuff before that. So the show kicks off. It's supposed to be Jey Uso, but the New Day comes out, and they get booed. And I mean booed. They keep trying to talk. The crowd's chanting New Day sucks, and they're booing them. Not sure if there was piped-in crowd noise. Probably was. But this crowd hated him. And Kofi keeps trying to say, what do we do to you guys? Why are you guys booing us? And eventually Jey Uso comes out. The crowd's going crazy. He gets in the ring. They tell Jey, we go way back. Tell these fans to quiet down so we can speak. And Jey says, Uso, let these boys talk. And they just keep chanting, New Day sucks. And they keep saying to Jey, we go way back, Jey. What do we do wrong? And Jey said, you know what? We do go all the way back. And New Day sucks. And the crowd starts chanting it again. And the New Day eventually just exits the ring. And Jey wants to fight Drew McIntyre. He calls out Drew McIntyre. And instead, Solo and the rest of his crew pop up on a screen. And pretty much they talk about how Jey and Jimmy should have joined him, not Roman. And he will never lose the Ula Fala or the Tribal Chief title. And then Drew sneaks up from behind. And he hits a Claymore on Jey. And he goes for another Claymore, gets super kicked, hits the headbutt. Out comes the referee. They get him out of the ring, and then Drew runs back in the ring, Claymores Jey Uso, and stands tall. And they confirm next week it will be Drew McIntyre against Jey Uso on the Netflix debut. So another big-time match on a debut show. Can't wait to see that. We had Gable against Otis, which I thought this was a fun match. Otis looked really strong in this match. And I actually thought he was going to win for a minute. He hit an ankle lock, threw the Creed brothers or one of the Creed brothers into Gable and the other Creed brother. And he just looked awesome in this match. The crowd is still behind Otis. But, man, are they ever going to pull the trigger with anything with him? We'll have to see. But this crowd was behind him all match. The crowd was really pissed off when he lost. Gable hits the ankle lock, though. Otis tried to stay in as much as he could, but he eventually had to tap. And Gable is victorious. But, man, this is probably the best Otis has looked in a minute. Gable, we all know how good he is. But, man, WWE has got to do something with Otis. He's got the crowd support. It's just on Triple H to pull the trigger. We had Zoe Stark against Dakota Kai in a tournament match for the Women's Intercontinental title. Solid match. Dakota Kai ends up getting the win. The crowd goes crazy. Dakota Kai is in the finals for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We had a 3v3 tag team match. The Judgment Day. Dom, Finn, and JD against Priest and the War Raiders. Fun match. Didn't really go on too long. I was kind of in and out of this match. Didn't really care about it, if I'm being honest. But the Judgment Day ends up getting the loss after Priest hits his South to Heaven choke slam for the win. 1-2. It looked like kind of like a spinning choke slam. I don't know. It was like a weird how they ended, but it was pretty dope. But Priest gets the pin for his team, and him and the Viking Raiders or War Raiders, I got to get used to calling them that again, get the win. Ludwig Kaiser came out, talked a little bit. Sheamus came out there. They got into a little exchange. Sheamus gets the last hit with a knee, and that's it there. And then we had Io Sky against Lyra Valkyria. Very fun match. The crowd was chanting, this is awesome. Both very talented in the ring. And Lyra Valkyria gets an upset win. I was surprised she won because I thought they were going to do Dakota Kai against Io Sky, maybe because of the, whole damage control days and everything. But no, they go Lyra Valkyria against Dakota Kai. And I love this. I know some fans want Io Sky to win, but I do think she's a favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble and get a match at WrestleMania. We'll see if that's the direction they go. But Lyra Valkyria's, she might start getting over. But Dakota Kai, I think, should win this. But we'll have to see. I'm cool with either one of these women winning. I think both are very deserving. It's a new woman getting the title scene, so can't be too mad about that. So the ending segment, Seth Rollins comes out. He's hyping everybody up, talking about he's Monday Night Rollins and he's, the best in the world, not the so-called best in the world. And Punk comes out and they get into it. And, man, they exchange some heaters in this match. Pretty much Punk said, I love this company. I just didn't like the guy in charge of it. I pretty much talking about Vince McMahon. Rollins says, I stayed here while you left for 10 years. And next week, I'm going to make you leave for 10 years. It's going to be my choice this time, not yours. They were exchanging bars throughout this whole segment. Excellent segment, hyping up their match. I can't wait for it. Rollins said, you went to the other company and took change from them. How'd that work out for you? Like, they were sending some heaters, and pretty much Punk was saying, like, listen, I walked out, but does that make me a quitter? Does that make Stone Cold Steve Austin a quitter? Does that make your wife, Becky Lynch, a quitter? She hasn't been around in a while, the man. Just awesome stuff. I mean, when you have a segment like this on the go-home show to their big match, it's hard not to get hyped for it. Both these guys are excellent on the mic. They have a stare down to end the show, and that's this week's Monday Night Raw. They absolutely cooked in this segment. I'm telling y'all, if you missed it, go check this out. It was awesome. And listen, it's going to be hard to see who really wins this match. I really don't want them to do something stupid like a double DQ or a double count out or something like that. That would suck, but I would see the logic in it. I could see Punk winning, though, especially if they want to have him going to WrestleMania, getting a world title match. But who knows? But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the LTQ Wrestling Podcast, or not episode, but video of the LTQ Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment your thoughts down below. Peace.